Hello, hello. It's John, your movie madman, and I'm back again. So it's good. It's good to see you all. Not that I can see you. It's good that you decided to click on this video. I love you for that. It's really nice that all you people keep coming back to watch my videos. So I'm really happy with that. Thank you. It fills me with joy. Today we're going to talk about Predator. Got Predator in 4K. This is the first 3 films, and then I've got the 4th one as well, but the 4th one didn't come in the box, so I had to get them separately. I'm only really going to talk about the first one though. I mean, you can have a look. It's just a standard plastic case, to be fair. I mean, there's nothing extremely exciting about it. It's just a normal box. So I mean, could have made a bit of an effort with the box, but it wasn't overly expensive, so I ain't complaining about that. But yeah, I mean, do you know what? I thought this was really good. I'm only really going to talk about the first one because I think no one really cares about the other 3. I quite like all 4 of them, to be fair though. I know a lot of people didn't like the newer 2, but I mean, I quite liked them all. You all love a bit of Arnie. Even people that don't like Arnie still love a bit of Arnie. But yeah, I mean, straight away you'll know. Obviously, the first thing I noticed was Arnie's really nice red shirt. I really wish that I had that shirt, although it probably wouldn't fit me because his arms are massive and my arms are like sticks. So I probably wouldn't fit into a shirt of Arnie's. But yeah, I mean, he does this, you know, he does that thing at the beginning where he's like with his mate, and they do like this arm wrestle in the air, and you can see like his muscle and those veins sticking out on his arm. It's pretty gross actually, but when you get to like close-ups of stuff, like close-ups of people's faces and people's sweat, I don't know why I get so fascinated by seeing someone sweating, but you're just like, oh, you can see like all the beads on their head like dripping down their face and everything, and you're just like, that is pretty nuts. There's a workman outside. I do apologise if should have put a sign up saying I was making a video. There are some skinned bodies that you see in this, and they look really red. The Predator's night vision was a bit dodgy, I thought, a bit grainy, but it's still a nice blue. The HDR really brings out those colours, so I mean, that's its job. If it didn't bring out any colours, I'd question if it had any HDR. So the attack on the camp at the beginning looked absolutely phenomenal. Like the way that like the explosions and stuff really lit up and things like that. People getting shot really lights up. It's quite a violent film, but the blood just looks amazing in a non-psychopathic sense. The blood looks incredible. As you see him going through the jungle later on in the film, that jungle just looks amazing as well. You never be so fascinated with trees and soil, and you're just like, wow, the greens and browns in there. Browns, never thought I'd be so fascinated with the colour brown, but this really brought my brown side out, and it brought the brown out as well, because it's quite scary. It's not that scary. I don't know, would you call Predator a horror film? Maybe. You know, leave a comment. Don't be scared to leave comments, guys. You know, I get comments from the same couple of people, but don't be afraid to say, look, you Wally, it's not a horror film, it's got Arnie in it, so it can't be a horror film. Or you could say, of course it's a horror film, it's about a creature in a jungle that eats people. You know, say what you like, you know. Be nice. Maybe that's why people aren't leaving comments, because they're like, oh, I can't leave a comment because I don't know how to be nice. So there's a challenge for you. Try and leave a comment and try and be nice at the same time. There's a guy that gets shot in the head by the Predator, not to ruin it. This guy gets shot in the head. You see the back of his head explode out, and that looks pretty cool in 4K. I was quite happy with that. Bit of graphic violence. Yep, gotta love a bit of graphic violence. Definitely, especially if it's a Predator film. I mean, some of the later ones aren't as graphic as some of the earlier ones. I noticed there's a really nice orange coming off the campfire towards the end when Arnie's sat in front of his campfire. it actually looks like a genuine fire rather than someone that's just slapped some CGI on the screen because they can't be bothered to light a fire. I'm pretty sure it's more expensive to use CGI than it is to use a bit of wood and light it with a match. I noticed there's some nice shots at the end where you see the moon shining through the trees. That look pretty nice. The sunsets look pretty nice. The sun rising looks pretty nice. All in all, it just looks really nice. I mean, the Blu-ray itself, like, I didn't think there was anything particularly specially looking about the Blu-ray. To be fair, it just looked like they'd put a DVD in a box and written Blu-ray on it. So I didn't think the picture quality of the Blu-ray was that fantastic. If anything, it looked a bit worse than I thought it was going to. But they sorted out those problems for the 4K. They really brought out the HDR in the 4K. They really bring out every colour that you've ever heard of that could possibly be in this movie. It smacks you in the face like Arnie. One of the bits that I did notice actually was one of his famous one-liners when he throws a knife. Well, I say a knife, he throws like a big machete at this bloke at the beginning, and it goes through him and pins him to the wall. And then Arnie looks at the camera and goes, "Stick around." I'm not doing a Arnie impression. I've been told off in the past for doing impressions of Arnie. I'm not very good at doing his voice. I'm not really good at doing impressions. So I tried a while ago to do some impressions, and they were really bad. So I tend not to do impressions. It's more embarrassing than doing my own YouTube channel. But yeah, I mean, if you like the Predators, you can get all the Predator films in 4K, which is pretty good, considering you can only get one of the Alien films in 4K. Technically 3, because if you include Prometheus and Alien Covenant, you can get 3 Alien films in 4K. Alright, so you can get 3 Alien films in 4K, but you can't get the second one, the third one, or the fourth one, or either 2 of the Alien vs Predators. It'd be very interesting to see if they did Alien vs Predator 2 in 4K. It would be very interesting to see if the HDR sorts out my issues with the lighting. Because HDR does do that sometimes. When you see stuff in the dark in some films, when you see it in 4K, the HDR is really brightened up that blackness, and it like brings out all the details of the stuff in the background that you can't normally see on a Blu-ray or a DVD or a video if you haven't even got DVDs. Like, but yeah, I mean, all in all, I'd say the first Predator is probably the best out of the 4. It's probably the best looking, which is funny actually because it's the oldest as well, so it shows the older films look better in 4K, because some of the newer ones just tend to get a bit ruined with the CGI, and it brings the CGI out a bit more. I mean, when the CGI starts looking purple, that's when you know your CGI's got problems, especially if the creatures are meant to be like brown or black. When you can see that purple shadow on them, that's when you know you're having problems. But yeah, so I'd say get them. Yeah, if you've got them on Blu-ray and you don't like the look of them, get them in 4K, because your eyes will be very pleased. Thank you for watching this video anyway. I'm going to stop talking now. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome. Yeah, get my subscriptions up a bit. When I get to 50 subscribers, I'm going to be revealing my favourite film and talking about that. But you're never going to find out if I don't get to that 50. So do hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it, and it doesn't cost anything. Alright, thank you very much for your support so far.